Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yes, it is Wednesday, February 14th, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. The former director of the Anne Arundel County Police Crime Lab was sentenced yesterday to 6 months in prison for pilfering drugs from county facilities. Annette Box of Pasadena was ordered to serve 6 months of a 5-year jail sentence. It all stems from a late December 2016 accident that happened in a residential neighborhood. When police were called, witnesses said that Box had instructed her daughter to remove black plastic trash bags from her car and put them in a neighbor's home. Police asked the neighbor to see what was in the bags, and they found a number of varied prescription drugs. At the time, Box had said that she was picking up drugs from prescription drop boxes at various police stations. However, after an investigation, police found that she had been pilfering drugs going as far back as August of 2014, and in total, she had more than 15,000 scheduled and non-scheduled pills in her possession. She pleaded guilty in December to misconduct in office, possession of a controlled and dangerous substance, and a theft scheme. She was sentenced to 5 years. They suspended all but 6 months, and she will have a probation period once she is finally released. Governor Hogan had a bill signing today, and it is a day that many thought would never come. After more than a decade in and out of the legislature, supporters for survivors of sexual assault saw legislation that will allow rape victims to terminate the parental rights of their attackers. Maryland Delegate Kathleen Dumais, a Democrat who represents Montgomery County, helped shepherd the bill through the General Assembly this year, the year of the Me Too movement. The bill allows a sexual assault victim who becomes pregnant as a result of a rape to terminate the parental rights of the assailant, providing that she shows, quote, clear and convincing evidence, unquote, in court. Marijuana is on legislators' minds again this year. This time it's recreational use. State lawmakers have attempted to pass several marijuana legalization measures on several occasions in the past years. This one would be the first one to legalize a non-medical use for cannabis in the state of Maryland. A bill being considered in the General Assembly this session calls for an amendment to the state's constitution allowing legal marijuana to be put up for a vote in the upcoming general election, and that would come as a referendum. I'm not sure that will get out of this session, but we will see. There were advocates that were testifying yesterday, and they did cite Colorado and Washington as success stories for legalized recreational marijuana. The Maryland Department of Transportation is investigating allegations of bullying and unequal treatment by a supervisor after 2 employees have come forward claiming that that supervisor had been giving test materials to help his preferred subordinate receive a promotion as opposed to those 2. The allegations are against a supervisor within the State Highway Administration who is described as a bully, a menace, and unprofessional. The 2 plan to talk with the Caucus of African American Leaders in their meeting on Tuesday night. Unfortunately, we couldn't be there. And fearing for retaliation, several people have contacted the Speaker of the House as well as the President of the Senate to ensure that there would not be any retaliation for their testimony. A spokesman for the Speaker's office said they are investigating the matter and said the Speaker absolutely will intercede on behalf of any constituent who faces mistreatment by any state agency. That's about all I've got for the news today, but we do have sports with Kevin Chaney from ShellBack Sports coming right up. And of course, we've got your local weather forecast with George Young and DMV Weather. Hang tight. That's all coming up, and have a great Valentine's Day. Podcasting is growing, and since we launched the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief in September 2017, we've seen an incredible response with more than 10,000 subscribers. We publish every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., and our subscribers are listening to the DNB in their homes, in their cars, in their offices, during their workouts, and virtually anywhere on demand. They are finding us wherever podcast or audio happens, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Echo, and Google Play. If you're interested in tapping into this growing market in an incredibly affordable way, why not consider sponsoring the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief? You can sponsor a single episode, a week, or a full month for a lot less than you might imagine. Intrigued? Shoot us an email. The email address is info@eyeonannapolis.net. Let's see if it makes sense for you.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather with your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, February 14th. Today kicks off one of the more interesting 5-day periods you can get weather-wise, as we'll go from warmer today with highs in the 50s to very warm tomorrow with rain and highs in the 60s and maybe even 70s, some 20 to 25 degrees above normal, to still warm with lingering rain and 60s on Friday, to maybe only 40 to 45 for daytime highs on Saturday after a cold front moves through, to possibly then overnight snow Saturday night into Sunday morning as temps dip down into the upper 20s or lower 30s and a low pressure center possibly moves along the front and brings winter weather to the Annapolis region. Maryland weather makes total sense, right? And looking ahead, the early tip is this: expect more 60s next week. Okay, that's it for us today. Be sure to download our free weather app by searching for DC MD VA Weather in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, and also follow us at dmvweather.com or on Twitter or Facebook. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Make it a great Valentine's Day out there, and remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
I'm Sean ONeill, your local RBC Wealth Management Advisor. When you choose to work with me, you'll have access to a worldwide network of financial products and services only available from a leading global institution. RBC's international reputation for physical strength and stability, world-class capabilities, and corporate values is unique in the financial services industry. I also recognize the importance of reinvesting in the communities in which we live and work, and I'm committed to serving my clients by building long-term relationships based on trust, integrity, and confidence. I look forward to helping you with your wealth management needs. Call me, Sean ONeill, today at 410-573-6723 for a complimentary consultation.
RBC Wealth Management, a division of RBC Capital Markets, LLC. Member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. If you're looking for local sports, it's right here, right now, on the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief.
Hey guys, Kevin here from ShellBack Sports, giving you your county sports update, starting with boys varsity basketball. Patapsco was at Severna Park. Severna Park won 62-47. Tuxant was at Southern. Southern won 73-35. Glen Burnie was at Old Mill. Old Mill won 71-43. Girls varsity basketball, Glen Burnie was at Old Mill. Old Mill won 63-39. And varsity wrestling, Long Reach was at Glen Burnie, and Long Reach won the meet, 51-48. Baseball fans can get excited as pitchers and catchers officially reported today, marking the beginning of spring training. And the NFL announced that the Baltimore Ravens will face the Chicago Bears in the Hall of Fame game. Hall of Fame game represents the first preseason game of the season. Both teams have legendary linebackers being inducted into the Hall of Fame. That's all I got. Make sure you're following me along on Twitter at K Cheney Sports and on Facebook at ShellBack Sports.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.